Everyone, with all of y'all being too busy, too focused on the Israel and Palestine thing, shut up for a second. We got big news over in Russia versus Ukraine, where now, I'm guessing it's actually bizarre, how like the news between, how the news in that conflict has gone quiet. It's about like this new big story I've heard about that I know in my channel I don't cover conflicts or big shit. Cause I'm a fucking slob channel, I understand my place. But this story I saw today was so fucking funny, I have to cover it. So, Russia, in order to get more troops on the front lines, they've called up and became allies with North Korea, where from what I've read in articles, they sent over around 10,000 troops, going over to Kiev or the western borders of Russia to defend them, help them out, and that's pretty insane. Two scary countries, very powerful one. Actually, no, I take it back. Russia's more powerful. North Korea, 10,000 troops, pretty big help for them. But apart from that, not that scary of a military power. Aside from that, the idea of two countries like that, helping each other, becoming allies in the conflict, that's pretty scary. But one side story that came from that was how troops from North Korea, from the capital, they just had a huge cultural shock, where when they went from, over to Russia, they realized, wait a second, all the internet over here is way less restricted back at home. I mean, I'm sure in Russia the internet's still pretty restricted, to put up propaganda and censor some news. But even then, I'm sure over there, you have way more freedom online than in North Korea. It's like going from one shithole country to a lesser shithole country, where for the Korean troops it was a huge difference. And of course, the first thing that people reported about the troops, that once they were given way more freedom online, the first thing they gorged on was fucking porn. Like actual children. I don't blame them. If you live in a country where I'm pretty sure I read the most websites they have in North Korea is 28 websites, and 10 of them have Kim Jong-un's face on the front page, then having a huge difference would feel like fucking paradise. So I don't blame them. I think it's really funny. But anyways, I want to read out the tweet that a lot of articles have referred to as being, the whole star of this rumor or this story. Well, by this guy is simply saying, a usually reliable source tells me that the North Korean soldiers who have deployed to Russia have never had unfettered access to the internet before. As a result, they are gorging pornography. That is so fucking funny. I mean, of course, during a conflict, the thing that people are gonna report on the least, because who gives a shit, is the way that those soldiers use the internet. But if that is true, I do. It's so easy to believe. It's so easily funny. Honestly, that was the only reason why I want to cover this story, because the idea of a bunch of about 10,000 Korean soldiers going to Russia, going to a new country, and being fucking bewildered by internet porn, that's so funny. But at the same time, from what I've seen in articles and headlines, it seems to have enough weight and be true enough that actual officials have to respond to it. But this article by The Independent just headlined, Pentagon responds to claims North Korean troops in Russia gorging pornography. So if people, who the fuck goes to the Pentagon and be like, excuse me, do you have a response to the outbreak of Korean soldiers jacking off to white women on Pornhub in Moscow? Who the fuck? It's still pretty funny, but going to an actual official and putting your hand up, to ask that is pretty dumb. But I want to say now as well, this picture on the article is pretty funny of Putin and Kim Jong-un, sharing a nice glass of wine as they fucking bomb entire cities, for this conflict. I have a little bit of wine, so do you? You want to drink this wine? And maybe we could get tipsy, who knows? Also, I want to say now as well, I was reading through this article, and there was one part that made me feel like a racist. Where was it? It was saying how, uniform, let me look it up. It was this part saying, North Korean soldiers are reportedly embedded with Russian troops and wear altered uniforms, making it difficult to confirm any North Korean casualties. Like when I read that, I was like, just flipped them over, and the eyes, check the eyes. Also, plus I was thinking like how funny it would be if like all the troops, the Korean troops, they come back home and they realize how shitty it is with no porn at all. So like the entire army was a coup d'etat to the government, simply because of porn, and how good they had it back in Russia, where they have complete freedom. And on that same note, like this made me realize, like Ukraine could make like the easiest like diplomatic deal ever, saying like how any surrendering Korean troops, if they surrender, they can come to Ukraine, they'll be given asylum and even like a phone deal with a SIM and a 20 gigs of data every month, to look up whatever they want to feed their addiction they might be having. So yeah, that's the whole story. Again, I'm not gonna pretend to be like a military official being like, oh my god, these allies, they could really turn the tide of the war. I don't give a shit. I mean, of course, I want the war to be over. I'm a pacifist. But again, if there's rumors, I believe it. If there's stories of Korean troops fucking going hog wild with porn on their phones while like being stationed in Moscow, that's really goddamn funny. And I can't help myself but laugh on a video talking about it because it's so fucking insane.